and all, hope you're doing okay. We've still got our level, so that's really interesting. We have to be bullish above that level, and it's 3912, so got a little bit more breathing room. And we are below the 21 moving average. We had a heavy day yesterday, but looking at things, we've had worse days. You see these big red candles, for example. So yesterday wasn't maybe that bad. We do want them to be selling it, so I think they might pump out some scary news. I'm not sure, but we will need them to short it, which I can show you here. So we are going sideways, so price should probably do it. If we break these lows, then they're going to go, right, we are going to be pretty bearish, we're going to sell now, and now have a stop up here or something. But what will probably happen is that when price comes up, they'll probably move their stops higher, and then it will gravitate to take their stops. Unless, of course, they're really disciplined, but mostly the majority of retail traders aren't disciplined, and they might not even be using stops as well, which is quite scary. So potentially a break here, then that should do it, and then they might release some scary news event from North Korea or China or something, and then that'll seal the deal. So you might have to break this low, 3978, and then it'll really get them bearish, and then they'll sell it, because we need them to do something, because they're going sideways. We don't want the sideways stuff. US 30 sideways, but they are selling it ever so slightly, like it's 1% increments every few hours. So it continues, we'll get a crossover, and a break of this low should do it. We did actually break it there, so that helped move the sentiment lower. You see, by breaking it there, they sold it ever so slightly, but we need maybe a shake up, so perhaps a technical break should do it, or if it might just be a gradual thing that they'll just sell it very, very slightly over time. Come to New York, up we come. We've got a Powell testimony again today at 5 o'clock, and I'm going to be sitting out. I had a loss on Monday, so I'm out this week, which is a good thing, because you've got to be disciplined, and you need to know when to exit as well. And I hit my maximum loss for a week, so then therefore I'm not going to try and recoup those losses. I'm going to come back next week, and it's probably a good week to take a little break, because we had that Powell testimony yesterday. It was a massive roller coaster. We've got another one today, and we've got NFP on Friday. And we have to remember that the Fed are data dependent as well, so they will be watching the jobs data on Friday. DAX, so they'd gone long, and so we fell. They shorted it, so we went up. Right, so that's how it works. They might sell it again, it's possible, and then we will pump, maybe get to all-time high, because we do need these guys to be eradicated. There's too many bears in this market now. So just to summarize, I think we need maybe a flush on the S&P, a break. US 30 we might be okay, just very subtle, and gradual decline on the sentiment. Then in a few hours we'll probably get a buy, but we have to remember we've got Powell as well. So there's the indices covered. Gold, how are we looking? We have made a cross. So 60.64 is lower than 60.73, so we've actually had a cross, which you can see by those difference in values. Okay, so they are selling against the moving average, and so this could be a good support, could be a good long, but you'd have to remember it would be risky, because at the high level we are a sell with 60% long. But if they're reducing those longs, they it'll push price higher, because it will mean that they're selling it essentially over time. So potentially it could be a good stop. 1809, $5 away. It's not going to really be too catastrophic if you get stopped out. I probably wouldn't put my stop there, because that could probably break, but you could probably have a stop here. And then 1802 is your 200 EMA, and if that fails to hold support, then it's going to be quite ugly. Euro, well, they went long up here, so it's a bit scary, and I'm glad I got out of this. I got out at a tiny bit of profit, and that was my last trade of the week. That was on Monday. Is it Monday? What day is it today? It's Wednesday today, isn't it? Yeah, Monday. Yeah, that's right. I closed this. I had the loss on the Aussie positions on Monday, but I had this yesterday, which I wrapped up. I didn't want it to get to my break even, so it's a good job I did TP, because look what happened. All right, so it would have taken me out a break even and then some. So you've got to know where your exit is. We have to remember this was a decent resistance. So technical resistance here. You can make an order block there. Let's grab that popper, so you can see how that was always going to be a good resistance, because of what you're looking for is a run of bullish candles and then the bearish candle that that covers it. So it's not an engulfing candle, not quite, but it's just it's one that supersedes and it bucks that trend. So we had a candle that bucked that trend, and you can see how something came in for a logic that I'm not entirely sure of. It might be sentiment based, or it could be based on volumes. But the big fish decided to sell it here, and so we fell. And so obviously it was going to be another resistance here. So it was always a good place to TP there. So hopefully that makes sense. And do a Google for order block as well if you've got some spare time. And I think that's what that is. Might be one here, but that's how it works anyway. So you can see how it was resistance. And then dollar yen. Well, we are pumping, and the reason for it is because of the yields. And the yields really did rally yesterday from Powell. So this is probably going to continue to do well because we are a buy, and we've got the fundamental flows behind it as well. So like I've been saying for a couple of weeks, be careful if you're short dollar yen, because you're fighting like a beast basically, and you've got sentimental and fundamental drivers for this to push higher, especially if they're going to be selling it, which they did here. 136, 138 nearly. So you've got to be really careful. And so that's that. So I'm going to do a Patreon video now. I think we are going to have to see a flush, and then it will make sure that they were not sideways, because no one wants sideways sentiment. We might be okay here, and DAX they might sell it. I'm not sure, but if we break that low, then we'll get the crossover, I think. So be careful today, and also know where your exits are, and also have a exit strategy when you encounter a loss, or if you encounter a succession of wins. You need to know, that's you met your profit threshold or you met your loss threshold, then you're out. And it's important to have an exit strategy as well. And I hit my exit strategy for a loss, so I'm back next week, and with any luck, things should be a little bit calmer. But we'll have to wait and see. And NFP is going to be a big move on Friday, so we've got to be careful for that.